The regular meeting of the Aurora City Council is called to order for Monday, November 13, 2023. Would the clerk please call the roll?
Mayor Kaufman.
Here.
Councilmember Bergen.
Here.
Councilmember Coombs.
Present.
Mayor Pro Tem Gardner.
Here.
Councilmember Drinsky.
Here.
Councilmember Lawson.
Here.
Councilmember Marcano. Councilmember Medina.
Here.
Councilmember Murillo.
Present.
Councilmember Sundberg. And Councilmember Zvonik.
Here.
There's a quorum.
Please join me in the invocation. O Lord, our God and our Father, we come to you and we ask that you would look upon this particular gathering tonight to keep us safe and guide us in our decisions. Bless our city with honorable citizens, industries, sound education, and good government. Unite our community together, even though we come from different backgrounds. We pray that there be justice and peace in our city. Give the city council and citizens the wisdom, direction, and sensitivity to the business and proceedings before us tonight. Hear us, therefore, as we commit this meeting to the help of the community. Amen. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. During the executive session, we discussed contract negotiations, annual council appointee performance reviews, franchise agreement renewal, partial transfer of property, and navigation campus. Approval of the minutes for October 23rd, 2023. Motion is in order.
Mayor.
Councilmember Bergen.
Motion to approve the minutes from October 23rd.
Moved by Councilmember Bergen, seconded by?
Zvonik.
Moved by Councilmember Bergen, seconded by Councilmember Zvonik to approve the minutes from October 23, 2023. Discussion? Seeing no discussion, call for the question on the adoption of the approval of the minutes.
Mayor Kaufman.
Mayor votes yes.
Katie, I'm having e-scribe issues, but I vote yes.
Okay, thank you. The motion passes to adopt the council minutes for October 23rd, 2023.
Proclamations. National American Indian Heritage Month, recipient Megan Sweeney of the Tollgate Creek chapter of the Daughters of the American Revolution. She here? Over here. Oh, please come on down. Please join us up here. Whereas the history and culture of our great nation have been significantly influenced by American Indians and indigenous peoples, and whereas the contributions of American Indians have enhanced the freedom, prosperity, and greatness of America today, and whereas their customs and traditions are respected and celebrated as part of a rich legacy throughout the United States, and whereas Native American Awareness Week began in 1976 and recognition was expanded by Congress and approved by President George Bush in August 1990, designated in the month of November as National American Indian Heritage Month. And whereas in honor of National American Indian Heritage Month, community celebrations, as well as numerous cultural, artistic, educational, and historical activities have been planned, and all citizens are encouraged to participate. Now, therefore, I, Mike Kaufman, Mayor of the City of Aurora, Colorado, do hereby proclaim November 2023 as National American Indian Heritage Month, in witness whereof I have hereunto set my hand and caused the seal of the City of Aurora, Colorado, to be affixed this 25th day of October 2023. Mike Kaufman, Mayor, Aurora, Colorado. Let's see. You have some words for us?
So thank you. We are honored. We are here on behalf of the Tollgate Creek Chapter National Society Daughters of the American Revolution, and we thank you very much for acknowledging November as the Native American Heritage Month. This is the first time awarded, and very appreciative. The DAR supports the American Indians in various different ways, with continuing education, of their history and their culture, as well as supporting educational and cultural pursuits of their citizens. We provide scholarships, we send kids to camp, we give grants, support some colleges, and so we are very happy to have the City of Aurora acknowledge this important month. Thank you very much.
Thanks, everybody.
Somebody's going to do a picture? Me? I guess you get to do it again.
All-purpose clerk. National Hunger and Homeless Awareness Week. Kristen Bailuat, if I'm saying it right, and members of the Intermountain Division of the Salvation Army. Is anybody here to receive this? Oh, yes, please come on. You're the photographer. Okay, whereas the City of Aurora, Colorado is committed to ensuring every member of our community can achieve their full potential, and whereas National Hunger and Homelessness Awareness Week is held the week before Thanksgiving each year, serving as an important reminder that many Aurorans lack food and a safe, stable place to call home, preventing them from reaching their full potential. And whereas the City of Aurora recognizes that if we work together, hunger and homelessness are solvable. And whereas 2023's Hunger and Homelessness Week, amidst a resurgence of COVID-19, is focused on preventing homelessness through rental assistance and outreach, combating hunger through additional food banks and resources, and providing additional resources through this trying time. And whereas, in partnership with the City of Aurora, the Aurora at Home Collaborative, organizations are connecting residents to available resources and implementing public policy and initiatives. And whereas Aurora has sourced $3 million annually to enhance outreach programs, including the Aurora Day Resource Center, the House Aurora Partnership, and the City of Aurora Rental Assistance Program to help prevent and end homelessness for hundreds of Aurora residents. And whereas all Aurorans are encouraged to take action, such as volunteering, donating blankets, coats, hats, gloves, and non-perishable foods, donating to the city's House Aurora Partnership, and to urge their leaders to commit to making homelessness and hunger history within our community. Now, therefore, I, Mike Kaufman, Mayor of the City of Aurora, Colorado, do hereby proclaim November 11th through the 18th, 2023 as National Hunger and Homelessness Awareness Week, a witness whereof I have hereunto set my hand and caused the seal of the City of Aurora, Colorado to be affixed this November 13th, 2023. Mike Kaufman, Mayor, Aurora, Colorado.
On behalf of the Salvation Army, we want to say thank you to the mayor, to every single council person present, to our awesome team in the city, as well as our awesome team at the Salvation Army, who do a fantastic job. And I want to do a quick shout out to our veterans seated right here. If we can give them a round of applause. Thank you for what you do. Thank you.
All Veterans Honor Guard. Recipients, members of the All Veterans Honor Guard. Please come forward. What's that? Yes.
You want to get you all in there? Okay. Good evening. Whereas military funeral honors rendered only by those who have served in the U.S. Armed Forces show deep respect and appreciation to those who, in times of war and peace, have faithfully defended our country and are the final demonstration of a grateful nation can provide in our commitment to recognize the sacrifice and contributions of our nation's veterans. And whereas in 1994, the All Veterans Honor Guard was formed in Colorado with an estimated 100 veteran volunteers to render military honors at Fort Logan National Cemetery, and in 2023, there remains 5 such teams: Aurora, Fort Logan, Castle Rock, Littleton, and North Glen. And whereas rendering military funeral honors is not an easy duty, the team members endures all sorts of weather, long days. The record is 11 funerals in one day, and most funerals occur on the weekdays. As such, recruitment is challenging. And whereas the proud men and women of the All Veterans Honor Guard do not receive any form of compensation aside from a small stipend from the state of Colorado, the organization relies on the donations to maintain and repair the World War II-era weapons used and to purchase uniforms for their volunteers. And whereas between 1994 and August of 2023, the All Veterans Honor Guard are truly honored to have served 23,369 veterans in their final moments on earth, knowing they sacrificed so much so that every American can have the freedom and opportunities that come with living in this great nation. Now, therefore, I, Mike Kaufman, Mayor of the City of Aurora, Colorado, do hereby recognize, in honor of Veterans Day 2023, All Veterans Honor Guard. In witness whereof, I have hereunto set my hand and caused the seal of the City of Aurora, Colorado, to be affixed this first day of November 2023. So now we'll start here, and if you ladies and gentlemen would go ahead and give your name and what branch of the service that you serve in.
Represent U.S. Navy.
Arthur Richardson, Air Force.
Morris Smith, Air Force.
Lori Walker, Air Force.
Daniel Howe, United States Navy.
Michael Gorn, United States Coast Guard.
Mike Benowitz, United States Marines.
Bob McElfresh, United States Submarine Service.
Richard Hogue, United States Army.
Thank you. And I know today, actually, I think you did a service today for 5. And also I know one of the gentlemen was, I think, 108 years old, that was a World War II veteran, so very special. Yeah, and so we want to just thank each and every one of you for your service. It is important. And for those of you in the audience, we are in dire need of young veterans to sign up for this important duty. So we urge you to please, if you know anyone, let them know that we would love to have them sign up. And want to thank you.
Well, thank you so much. So I understand that there's one United States Marine, and then there's 8 that wanted to be Marines? No, just kidding. Just kidding. Just kidding. Just kidding. Thank you so much. Oh, please, any remarks?
I get to talk because the other guys won't. I'm Maury Smith. I'm the commander of the Aurora team out of American Legion Post 1992. We do what we do because every man and woman that ever served our military gave a portion of their life in the prime of their life in the service of our country. And when they leave this earth, they have deserved the military ceremonies that we give them. We did do 5 services today, and one of them was 108 years old, but they were all just as important as the other one. The last one we did today at 2 o'clock was number 1201 for the year. We're called the A team, and it's not because Aurora starts with an A.
Public invited to be heard.
Robbie DeYoung.
Wow, that's an incredibly tough act to follow. My husband actually was in the Air Force at Buckley, and he served for a short little stint where he worked at he served at Fort Logan. My dad and my uncle are buried at Fort Logan. So I am incredibly honored to be in the room with the gentleman and the lady that served and does this great service. Okay, the reason why I'm here shouldn't be a surprise. I'm here for stolen and vandalized vehicles in Colorado. I know that this is something that you guys have heard me repeat multiple times over and over again, how bad it is in this city. But it's not just bad in this city, it's bad in the entire state. Colorado is still ranked #1 per capita for auto theft. I'm tired of Colorado being #1 in crime. I'm tired of Colorado being #1 in violence, in just every bad category that we can possibly be. And I know that all of you are just city council members for the city of Aurora, and you don't have the pull that they do under the Golden Dome in Denver. But you do have clout. You do have the ability to talk to them, to get our legislators to actually stop being soft on crime and work to stop this problem that we have with auto theft, vandalism, carjacking, and so on. Thank you.
Tanya Tabachek.
Good evening, Mayor and council members. First thing I just wanted to say is look out there in the audience. That's the first thing I have to say. Second thing, I wish the same audience that was the last council meeting would be just as concerned about Aurora, Colorado. Another thing is, I read this a note on from one of the sites that I said, and it said earlier this year Colorado was ranked 9th most dangerous state in the nation, and its crime in Colorado is on the rise. We are starting to see businesses take precautions to ensure safety precautions for not only themselves, but for their customers. And I know a lot of people in Denver, they're leaving Denver because of the crime. I don't want that to happen in Aurora, Colorado. And also on Delmar and 6th Avenue, going right towards the Activity Denver Center, people think that there's a 3-way street. So they're turning right, and there's not a 3rd lane there. So I could just see an accident happening there as well. But I just wanted to say the importance of living in Aurora and this city, and I want to congratulate those who have continued on, and Mayor Mike Kaufman and everyone else as well, but to stress that the same amount of people that were here before should be here now. If not, if they're listening, call in. Homelessness, crime, and so forth. We need to take more control of the city and have the citizens feel more comfortable. Thank you.
Okay, and we have one individual on the call-in line.
Susan, you're live. Go ahead. You have 3 minutes.
Good evening, Council. My name is Susan Tabachek, native of Colorado, brought up in North Denver. I am surprised that I live in the Old West, where the outlaws had control of the town because the sheriff was either on the take or afraid of them. Putting it sooner, the current lobsters have run of the town, not the police or even the council. You all made a fool of me. Going to Concord College to complain about the car racing, doing wheelies, racing in circles around people, and not doing anything about it. And why didn't they know? Why didn't the college know? They have asked for help many times from the police, but of course, too busy, which is an excuse for everything. The police can always find an excuse, and so when you call in, they prioritize. You know what? Somebody's going to get killed. Now, I sent you all information I received from Dr. Wiki and the landowners from California. They are both upset because even though they have cameras showing the license plate numbers and have agreed to have the ones doing it arrested for trespassing, nothing is really done. The landowner has agreed, if necessary, to fly out here and try to fix it and talk to you all. I wanted to put it in the paper, but they don't want me to. They want it taken care of first. They don't want Concord to have a bad day. The police give them the runaround. As far as stopping them from racing, well, can't do that. My daughter and I have both gone to council and complained. That's my Air Force vet daughter, Tanya Tabachek. Amazing. No one told us they had multiple complaints from Dr. Wiki and the landowner. Landowners said that they would even hire an off-duty police or security. Couldn't get any takers. Now, what does that say about the situation? You know, doesn't show you have much respect for a business owner. Is that because it is part of old Aurora and not where the above average and elite live? Or because, as my daughter found out, they carry guns? Don't want to mess with the outlaws or the monsters. I feel bad to the apartments directly across from Concord on Havana. Before anyone moves in, they better check out the traffic on Saturday and Sunday to see if they want to live there. I feel the police and council care about what is happening to the homeless more than they care about the property owners and the taxpayers. Sad situation. I thought you wanted to better Aurora, not turn it over to a bunch of hoodlums. But that's what's happening all over Aurora. Embarrassed. I'm embarrassed. Take the cars away. Make the
Susan, your time is up now.
That was the last individual.
Land acknowledgement. The City of Aurora acknowledges that we gather on the territories and ancestral homelands of the Cheyenne, Ute, Arapaho, and Lakota peoples, past and present. We also recognize the 48 contemporary tribal nations that are historically tied to the lands that make up the state of Colorado. Indigenous peoples have remained committed to the stewardship of this land over many centuries. As these words of acknowledgement are spoken and heard, the ties that these nations have to their traditional homelands and to their vital place in the ecosystem are renewed and reaffirmed, and we are called to be better stewards of the land we inhabit as we continue to work to meet the needs of our entire community. Adoption of the agenda. Motion is in order.
Mayor.
Councilmember Bergen.
Yes, a motion to approve the adoption of the agenda with the removal of 12C.
It's been moved by Councilmember Bergen, seconded by?
Mayor, second.
Seconded by Councilmember Lawson to adopt the agenda with the exception of item number 12C. Discussion?
Mayor?
Councilmember Bergen.
Just wanted to say that that appeal was requested to be removed by the appellant.
Very well. Further discussion? Seeing none, call for the question on the adoption of the agenda. Mayor votes yes.
The motion passes to adopt the agenda with item 12C removed.
Adoption of the consent calendar for motions, item number 10A1 to 10C1.
Mayor, motion to approve 10A1 through 10C1.
Moved by the Mayor Pro Tem, seconded by?
Coombs.
Seconded by Councilmember Coombs to approve the consent calendar of motions, item number 10A1 to 10C1. Discussion? Seeing no discussion, call for the question on the adoption of the consent calendar, items number 10A1 to 10C1.
Mayor Kaufman?
Mayor votes yes.
The motion passes to adopt the consent calendar for motions.
Adoption of the next item is the adoption of the consent calendar, resolutions and ordinances, items 10A1 to 11B3.
Mayor? We have an individual who would like to speak on item 11B1.
11B1.
Should we do the motion and then the speaker, or? Okay, Mayor, I would like to move to adopt the consent calendar for resolutions and ordinances 11A1 through 11B3, with the exception of 11B1 and 11B2.
But I think procedurally, doesn't the individual have the right to speak first?
Yep, I mean, we can do the motion in the second. She's removing 11B1, so before we consider it, we'll let him speak on it.
Okay, very well. Okay, moved by Councilmember Coombs, seconded by?
Bergen.
Seconded by Councilmember Bergen to approve the consent calendar for resolutions and ordinances. So which one was that, 11? 11B1?
And B2.
And B2? Okay, so 11A1 to 11A10, 11B3 to, and, well, 11B3. Discussion? Oh, I'm sorry. The individuals speak at this time.
No, you're going to vote on.
Vote on it first?
Those consent items
Okay,
first.
okay.
And then we'll go back and pick up the other.
Okay. Discussion? Seeing none, call for the question.
Councilmember Bergen?
I think I did, yes.
The motion passes to adopt the consent calendar for resolutions and ordinances with items 11A1 and 11A2 removed. 11B2, I'm sorry.
11B1.
11B1 and 11B2.
Would clerk now please read the title to 11B1?
Item 11B1 is consideration to finalize ordinance 2023-51, adopting an operating and capital improvements project budget for the fiscal year beginning January 1st, 2024, and ending December 31st, 2024.
Brief presentation on 11B1.
Greg Hayes, Budget Officer. 11A1 and 11A2 are both pieces of the adoption of the 2024 budget. There's three items. The 2024 adopting was 11A1, higher level 2024 appropriations in a little bit more detail. It's a culmination of quite a bit of work from all of us, workshops, one-on-one meetings, the budget delivery to all of you in August timeframe, various presentations in September, and the wonderful Saturday workshop, September 30th. Where you made a change that's already in the adopted budget, and this was approved unanimously at the first reading.
Okay. To the individual.
Yes, Tom Tobiasen.
Good evening, Mayor and members of Council. Thank you for the time to speak, and thank you for your service as volunteers, mostly for the City of Aurora. I appreciate that. I'm a 35-year resident from the City of Aurora, mostly in Ward 6, but now in Ward 5. I've been volunteering most of that 35 years in various capacities through civic organizations, Neighborhood Watch, various cleanup operations, and numerous boards and commissions. I take volunteering very seriously, and I know that our city values the time that our volunteers put in over the years. Tonight, I represent the Aurora Public Defenders Commission, which I chair, and I've been serving for a number of years. The commission is made up of 7 volunteers that work to advocate for the public defender's function in our city courts and to provide a political buffer so that the defenders can do their work independent of political influence. It's important that Aurora is tough on crime, as we've heard, and I don't think anybody disagrees with that. We need to be tough on crime, but at the same time, the U.S. Constitution, 6th Amendment, ensures that anybody that gets mixed up in our court system has a right to competent representation. And there, we do serve a number of indigent individuals, and we have a public defender's office, as the state does, as other jurisdictions have in the state, that represent the indigent individuals. So we've talked about the public defender's budget, and I'm formally, and I'm sure you all received my letter regarding our position on the budget. Somehow we got missed in the budget process. I think the public defender is often overlooked in many of the processes in the city because we're kind of an independent organization. We need to rectify that, of course. But as an Aurora resident and on behalf of the Public Defenders Commission, I object to the adoption of the 2024 budget as proposed and presented in first reading before the Council on the 23rd of October. City Council's denial of adequate funding for the Aurora Public Defender fails to ensure effective and competent representation of indigent individuals facing incarceration after being charged by the Aurora Police Department and prosecuted by the city attorney. I urge the city leadership to release the resources designated by the previous manager to be used by the APO, the Aurora Public Defender's Office, for 3 additional full-time attorneys, but remain reappropriated to the non-departmental fund. I further urge the city to invest in the future of mental health access in its courts through the Aurora Sustain program, which the Public Defender's Office has started and received funding through grants, as well as the partnership with Aurora Mental Health by utilizing and now adding $30,000 for the 2024 budget, and to add 1 FTE for mental health professionals.
Excuse me, you're over time. Thank you.
And also, I'd like to invite you all to a town meeting.
You're over time.
Thank you. Town meeting this Wednesday at 6 p.m. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Is there anybody else who wishes to be heard on 11B1?
No.
Very well. Questions to staff on 11B1?
Mayor.
Councilmember Coombs.
So I just want to clarify from Mr. Tobiason's comments that the funds from the 2022 budget that were requested to be appropriated for additional attorney positions for the public defender's office were allocated to the non-departmental budget, and in 2023, the same is once again set aside into that non-departmental budget rather than being allocated to the public defender's office for those FTEs.
That's correct. 1 year forward, it was the 2023 budget that we moved the money over into non-departmental. It's still in there in 2024, appropriated in non-departmental.
Yes, thank you for clarifying. I was thinking the years in which we were passing the budget.
Further questions to staff? Seeing none, discussion?
Mayor.
Councilmember Coombs.
I would like to move to make an amendment to the adoption of the 2024 budget to move those funds, which are already in the budget under non-departmental, into the 2023 or 2024 budget for the 3 FTEs requested by the Public Defender's Office in order to adequately serve the residents of our city with appropriate public defense. And I'd like to clarify the reasons why currently, instead of being paid FTEs, that funding is being depleted actually more rapidly by the hiring of contractors, and the hiring of contractors requires that they be paid at an hourly rate set by the state, which is about twice as high as the hourly rate currently earned by our public defenders. So we're actually, in that sense, paying twice as much as we could be paying for those attorneys while we wait for the results of our discussion about whether or not we're going to privatize this office. What this doesn't do is change that conversation and that process of putting out the RFP. What it does do is make sure that in the meantime, while that discussion is underway, that we're not wasting money by paying double what we would otherwise be paying.
Questions of staff, and that is that when you're calculating hourly cost in comparison to employee versus contract, that does not include the employee cost of workers' comp, of healthcare benefits, and all that stuff.
Correct.
Is there a figure, if you added that in, what that would be? Is there an estimate?
Typically, we add somewhere around 30% to a cost to make it fully loaded, including the benefits and the workman's comp and Medicare and such like that.
Okay.
Mayor.
Councilmember Coombs.
So currently, we're paying 100% more per hour when we could be paying just that 30% more for the FTEs.
I'm sorry, the city attorney has advised me that we need a second for your motion.
Mayor, we don't have a motion and a second for the original motion to adopt the agenda, to adopt the budget.
Okay.
So, Councilmember Coombs, you can
first, a motion for 11B1.
Yes, Mayor, I'll happily move
Councilmember Coombs.
11B1.
Moved by Councilmember Coombs, seconded by?
Medina.
Seconded by Councilmember Medina. And then your amendment, and then a second to your amendment.
Murillo, second.
And seconded by Councilmember Murillo.
Apologies for being out of order.
Very well. Further discussion?
Mayor.
Mayor Pro Tem.
So if we set the money aside in 2022, why weren't the positions hired? And I don't know who can answer that. Probably not the budget staff, but.
They were part of the 2023 amendments, the adds that were in the 2023 budget. They were pulled out by council and set aside in non-departmental, awaiting the results of some studies, both court-wide, but then also public defender studies.
Mayor, if I could.
Councilmember Zavonic.
Yeah, so this might help. So in 22, at the budget workshop, we had asked then City Manager Jim Twombly to do a study to to do a cost analysis of us potentially moving away from having the public defenders in-house and going to it on a contract basis. That wasn't done. And so here we were a year later asking the same question, and I believe that's why the money was there from 22 to 23 and now going into 24. And so it's my understanding that interim city manager is actually working on this and now has an RFP ready to go out in short order so that we can get that apples to apples comparison and determine whether or not there would be a significant enough cost savings in doing what nearly every other municipality does to provide all of the same and requisite services for those who would qualify for them and the Public Defender's Office, while also saving Aurora taxpayers potentially a significant amount of money. But we'll find out the results of that and make a decision on whether or not we would allocate additional resources or transition the way in which we deliver that service altogether.
Further discussion?
Mayor,
Councilmember Combs.
could I ask a question of Ms. Cadiz, our Chief Public Defender?
Please.
So can you let me know what the hourly rate under the Chief Justice Directive from the state of Colorado is for public defense?
Yes. Thank you, Councilmember Coombs, and all of City Council and the Mayor. As of 2023, the hourly rate is $95 an hour. And then there's various caps based on the kind of case. That's set by the Colorado Supreme Court. Next year, it's expected that the hourly rate will be $100 an hour. Our office makes, on average, $53 an hour for an attorney. And I don't think this is necessarily what Councilmember Zvonek was suggesting, but just so that the record is clear, to answer the question that was posed, what happened last year was that we actually did an internal workload study based on our case management time tracking, and that workload study is what we used to support our request for 2 additional FTE attorneys. And then we asked for a 3rd for weekend court. I think the total ask was $326,000 for this year, and then at the workshop, it was moved into the non-departmental, and the purpose was going to be to do this cost-benefit analysis. That the cost-benefit analysis didn't get done was not because we didn't do it in terms of the department. It was not done in the way that I suppose Councilmember Zvonek wanted it to be done. However, we were led to believe in what actually is in the budget book this year to reflect that is that this had sort of transitioned into the court-wide workload study that we're all embarking on right now. And so we were led to believe that the cost-benefit analysis was going to be taken care of by the workload study. And that, I hope, at least answers the question.
Mayor. Yeah, Councilmember Jones.
Thank you. We have hashed this out. I'm not talking to you. If you wanted to sit down, you don't have to stand up there. It's up to you. We have hashed this out so many times, and this is being made into like a constitutional rights violation that we're trying to do away with public defenders altogether. There are multiple cities that have private public defense, and all we are asking, and what Councilmember Zvonek is saying, we started asking for this almost immediately when we got on council. It's unfortunate that we had a city manager at the time that did not listen to that request, but it didn't mean that we went away. So the request is back. All this is an RFP. That's all it is. We haven't made a vote. No one up here has cast a vote to do away with the internal public defender's office. This is an RFP to go out to see if, like many other cities have, privatized their public defense for their city, if this could potentially be $1 million savings to the taxpayers a year, which is what a study showed. So we have a study that showed $1 million a year savings by privatizing the public defense office. This is not about not providing a public defender for people, which is a constitutional right that we are well aware of and needs to be in place. This is literally to find out, the study that came back to us, is this a savings of $1 million a year to the taxpayers? That's what this is. With that, I call for the question.
Mayor.
Well, motion, I have to address motion to call for the question. Is there a second to the motion to call for the question?
Second. Mayor, point of order.
No, once a call, it's non-debatable. It's been moved and seconded. Call for the question. And
Mayor, my point of order is regarding decorum, namely stating information that is not factual.
there's been a call for the question motion.
That's my
There's a call for the
point of
question
order.
motion, and we will act on that. And I'm sorry, your comments are out of order. Call for the question on the motion.
Mayor Kaufman?
Mayor votes yes.
The motion passes with 5 yes votes, 4 no votes from Councilmember Medina, Coombs, Murillo, and Mayor Pro Tem Gardner to end debate and vote on the motion for the amendment.
Okay.
Vote on, sorry, the amendment.
Okay, now we're voting on the Coombs amendment. Could you restate your amendment, please?
Yes, Mayor. My motion is to save the taxpayers a significant amount of money by not paying twice the cost that we're currently paying for public defense by reallocating the current funds that are in the non-departmental budget paying for private contract attorneys for public defense in the city, and instead allocating that money to 3 FTEs for the public defender budget.
And I believe the staff did not confirm your savings.
Yes.
Further discussion? Seeing none, call for the question on the Coombs amendment to item 11B1.
The motion does not pass with 5 no votes, 3 yes votes from Councilmember Medina, Coombs, and Murillo.
Is there further discussion on 11B1?
Mayor?
Councilmember Coombs.
I will not be voting in support of this budget. There has not been a study showing that privatizing our public defender office would save $1 million. And this also isn't a question of the RFP that is going out. That is going out, and that conversation and that vote will be forthcoming. This is a conversation right now, today, about not spending twice as much per hour on contract attorneys than we would pay on staff attorneys within the city, which, if the RFP goes through, shows that it's going to save money, would be outsourced anyway.
Further discussion? Seeing none, I call for the question on the adoption of 11B1.
Mayor, motion to approve item 11B1.
I'm sorry, we did. Okay. Further discussion on 11B1? Seeing none, call for the question on 11B1.
City Attorney Baratzman, I do have a question for you. So this is a finalizing of ordinance, and there is 5 yes votes, not 6 yes votes. Does the mayor get to vote for this or not?
So tie votes, the mayor may vote.
It's not tied.
It's not a tie vote. It's 5 yes votes, 3 no votes, but since there's 2 council members absent, does the mayor get to vote on this item?
And yes, with the absences, yes.
Okay.
Mayor votes.
The mayor votes yes.
Okay, then the motion passes with 6 yes votes and 3 no votes from Councilmember Medina, Coombs, and Murillo.
Clerk, now please read the title to 11B2.
11B2 is ordinance 2023-52, appropriating sums of money to defray expenses and liabilities for fiscal year beginning January 1st, 2024, and ending December 31st, 2024.
Any additional comments by staff? No. Is there anyone who wishes to be heard on this issue? Katie, is there anyone who wishes to be heard on this?
No.
Questions of staff? Seeing none, motion is in order.
Mayor,
Councilmember Bergen.
motion, oh, never mind, I'm on the wrong one, somebody else.
Mayor,
11B2.
Mayor, motion to approve item 11B2.
It's been moved by Councilmember Jurenski, seconded by
Bergen.
Councilmember Bergen to approve 11B2. Discussion?
Mayor,
Councilmember Coombs.
I'll also be voting in opposition to the appropriations because they, again, specifically include that same mismanagement of our city funds.
Further discussion? Seeing none, question before us is the adoption of 11B2. Call for the question.
There's 5 yes votes and 3 no votes. Mayor, how would you like to vote?
Would the clerk now please read the title to
Mayor.
item number 12A? I'm sorry, oops. What's it? Where are we at?
You're voting.
Oh. Mayor votes yes.
The motion passes with 6 yes votes, 3 no votes from Councilmember Medina, Marcano, and Murillo.
Would the clerk now please read the title to item number 12A?
Item 12A is Resolution 2023-111, a public hearing and consideration of a resolution of the City Council of the City of Aurora, Colorado, approving the amended and restated consolidated service plan for Aspen Business Park Metro District, Aurora Crossroads Metro District numbers 1 and 2, and Crossroads East Metro District, and approving an amended and restated IGA between the City of Aurora and the districts.
Public hearing is now open. Brief presentation by staff.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. Cesarina DNC, Development Assistant Supervisor in the Office of Development Assistance. The Aspen Business Park, Aurora Crossroads 1 to 2, and Crossroads East Metropolitan Districts currently exist under separate service plans. However, the parcels are currently under one ownership, and the ownership group has a letter of intent in place to purchase what is known as the Crippen parcel, which is not currently within the boundaries of any district. The property within the districts in the proposed inclusion area is entirely commercial, no residents currently or proposed. The boards of the districts are requesting to consolidate the districts under a single service plan, expand the inclusion area of the districts, and amend provisions of the service plan to facilitate issuance of debt sufficient to finance the public improvements necessary to support the service area. The boards are not requesting any additional debt capacity. The debt limit indicated is a combined amount from the current service plans, which were previously approved by the city. The proposed service plan is in conformance with the city's model. In addition, we have received additional information since this item was first presented at study session. These items are included in the backup and include an update to the IGA as well as joint confirmation from both the district and a property owner within the district as to the city's responsibilities between those parties. I'm happy to answer any questions. We also have counsel for the district present as well.
Presentation by the applicant.
Mr. Mayor, council members, thank you. We are here for questions only. We don't have any separate presentation outside of what staff presented.
Is there anyone who wishes to be heard on this?
No.
Very well. Questions of the staff or the applicant? Seeing none, public hearing is now closed and a motion is in order.
Mayor,
Councilmember Bergen.
motion to approve 12A.
Moved by Councilmember Bergen, seconded by
Coombs.
seconded by Councilmember Coombs to approve item number 12A. Discussion? Seeing no discussion, call for the question on the approval of item number 12A.
Councilmember, thank you. The motion passes to adopt Resolution 2023-111.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody. Will the clerk now please read the title to item number 12B?
Item 12B is a public hearing without related ordinance to consider an appeal by the applicant of the Planning and Zoning Commission decision of denial of the Zara draft after-hours conditional use.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. Zara Draft House went to
Sorry,
the...
wait, to open the public hearing. Public hearing is now open. Presentation by staff.
I apologize. Good evening, Council and Mayor. Zara Draft House went to the Planning and Zoning Commission on September 27, 2023. Planning and Zoning Commission approved a conditional use for a bar and tavern at 10109 East Colfax Avenue. The second conditional after-hours entertainment request was denied. The decision is now being appealed by the applicant for the council's consideration. Here is a zoom in of the site. The site and its surroundings are zoned mixed-use original Aurora, Main Street. The site is surrounded by commercial, parking, and retail. There are no abutting residential uses. The Bar and Tavern is a 2,439 square foot space. The site is accessed from Colfax Avenue with adequate parking provided by the existing parking lot behind the buildings and on-street parking. The proposed operation hours for Zara Draft House are 2 p.m. to 2 a.m. every day and will serve alcohol and non-alcoholic beverages as well as food. The bar will be open for service from 2 p.m. to 1:30 a.m. with 1:30 to 2 being used for cleanup. The bar and tavern is permitted to be open till 2 a.m. The after-hours entertainment conditional use would allow for live music and entertainment activities through 2 a.m. Planning staff recommended approval to the Planning Commission of the after-hours entertainment use. The planning staff analysis was based on the review of the approval criteria of the UDO. Overall, planning staff found the absence of neighborhood comments, the lack of residential properties abutting the proposed after-hours entertainment, the existing parking area, access to major arterial, and the location within the proximity to other late-night operations all demonstrate that the conditional use application is compatible with the surrounding area. The planning staff recommendation reflects an assessment of potential impacts done in the manner consistent with similar applications for this use request, providing reasonable assurance that this establishment can operate harmoniously within the community and surrounding businesses. The conditional use approval is outlined in the UDO under section 5.4.3.a.3. The code standards were utilized by staff in regards to the Zara Draft House after-hours entertainment conditional use. The applicant meets the UDO standards outlined for after-hours entertainment. The application has provided an operations per the after-hours requirement of the UDO, and it can be found in part of your exhibit package. The application is consistent with the comprehensive plan. The site is in original Aurora, where commercial, entertainment, and retail are all supporting uses. The size, scale, height, density, multimodal traffic impacts, and hours of operation of the proposed uses are compatible with the existing and planned uses in the surrounding area. The existing building received a facade update in 2016, as well as that area of Colfax. It was updated to include street pavers, trees, and the site
is also located to an event center that is also open till 2 a.m. The proposed use will not change the predominant character of the surrounding area. Colfax is home to many bars, nightlife, and entertainment. Zara Draft House will fit in with the context of these existing uses. The city's existing infrastructure and public improvements have adequate capacity to serve the proposed development, and the application will not dislocate any residents. The application mitigates any adverse impacts on the surrounding area to the degree practical. There are no abutting residential uses, and the applicant worked with staff to ensure an understanding of noise conformance. Based off staff analysis, does council wish to affirm the Planning Commission denial for an after-hours entertainment conditional use?
Thank you.
And with that, I conclude my presentation, and we have the applicant here for questions and comment.
Presentation by the applicant.
I guess. My name is Rudolph Brown, and I'm the architect on this project. I felt like we covered everything that was required. We stated what the use would be. I believe that this particular function would work well in Aurora, Main Street, historical. It kind of reminds me of the 17th Street in Denver, Restaurant Row, you know, where people go eat, gather, and everything. That's kind of what I saw this as being. I think there was some misconception about the DJ. As far as the DJ, this is not we don't have a dance floor or anything like this. This is just like with a DJ. When you go to a restaurant on Friday evenings and you're having a drink, like a lounge eating, you just have someone there playing music, you know, not loud. So that's all I have to say. I think everything else is in Exhibit B and Exhibit C. And I'm just here for questioning.
Mayor?
Wait, I've got to go next to, is there anybody who wishes to speak on this issue?
No.
Okay, Councilmember Jurenski.
I'm Jurenski. I would like to hear from Trevor Vaughn in reading the backup. I would just like to hear from, it sounds like his concerns are the reason that this did not pass, so I would just like to hear from you.
Yeah, the concerns I raised with the Planning Commission were just that the application seemed a little bit light, and I was a little bit concerned about understanding the nature of the use and how it applies as far as the criteria. That was in accordance with the approval or the ask for approval for a bar in general at that location, and just provided some context on that. This appeal is just over the after-hours club or entertainment use. The bar use was approved by the Planning Commission, and the only reason that they are requesting this use had to deal with just having a DJ maybe once per week until 1:30 in the morning. So without that approval, the DJ would have to end at midnight, and with the approval, then the DJ could continue till 1:30 a.m.
Mayor, I want to ask a question. So Trevor, that just doesn't sound like after hours to me, because obviously bars can operate until 2 a.m. It sounds like they're going to have special restrictions on their liquor license. Was it not approved by the neighborhood to have a full service liquor license? Why is it that midnight cutoff?
So the zoning definitions, there's a couple different zoning definitions that we're dealing with. So think of an after-hours club as basically a nightclub.
Sure.
So if you think of a bar lounge, like a sports bar, it can operate till 2 a.m., but may be more of a lounge environment with some background music and so on and so forth. But if you think of more of a nightclub where there's entertainment and live music and such after midnight, more of a nightclub environment, that's really what that use is about.
So Trevor, is this comparable to the liquor license at Heroes?
So, for example, Heroes, well, they're actually not open. They're not allowed to be open past midnight, so it wouldn't even apply to there. That's more of a kind of a lounge environment. But if probably more akin to like what you would see, this is larger scale, but like a Stampede. Stampede's a nightclub environment after midnight. They've got live music there, bands, so it has a much higher impact to the neighborhood. One thing I forgot to clarify is that the liquor license is the next step in the process. First step is obtaining this land use approval to have a bar there at that location or after-hours club, nightclub. You got to have that step first, and then next step is to obtain a liquor license.
Yeah, and do we know if the applicant is in a position to obtain that liquor license? Was there any concerns there, or?
I don't have, nothing that we've seen yet. Obviously, there's a process for that to go through. They didn't do it concurrently. So it'll be the next step in the process. The applicant will be evaluated as far as their character record and reputation, and then the needs and desires of the neighborhood. Those are basically the criteria for a liquor license, so like the petitioning of the neighborhood.
Have they specified how much of their sales will be in food?
They said, that was kind of one of my concerns that you brought up, the 25% sales in food, but there's no kitchen being installed there. So I think that would be kind of difficult to get.
So the real hangup here is whether or not their liquor license can extend to 2 a.m. or if they have to close down at midnight currently, but they can apply for a liquor license to be open until midnight.
They can actually, they were approved until without any hour restrictions for the bar use. The question in front of you is dealing with the after-hours club or entertainment. That's just the DJ till 1:30. That's the only question in front of you. They can apply for they were approved by the Planning Commission to obtain a liquor license, which would allow them to serve till 2 a.m.
And your concern of having that DJ play for an extra hour and a half is what?
My original concern was in the bar in general. And I think maybe the confusion here is I think the Planning Commission might have intended to limit the approval with an hour restriction of midnight. Instead, I think there might have been some confusion there, and that condition is not in the record that there was any requirement to close at midnight. So then the second use for after-hours club was denied, which is, in my opinion, somewhat of a minor issue when you look at their overall operations plan.
So you find it to be a minor issue. So do you still have the same concerns, or do you think that? I guess I'm really hung up here on why these other bars that are in the area, do they have to close at midnight?
So I'll try to clarify that again. My concerns were over the original conditional use and asking for a postponement to evaluate it further. They were approved regardless of those concerns. They were approved for a bar till 2 a.m. My concerns weren't specific to the after-hours club.
Okay.
That was denied.
So you're just asking for a postponement?
Well, I was, but the commission approved it, so that is not the question in front of you.
Please proceed.
Mayor,
Councilmember.
this is so confusing.
Yeah.
So they were approved till 2 a.m. to operate their bar. And so this is not about that.
Correct.
This is about them possibly having a DJ?
Correct.
And are we allowed to just deny someone having a DJ till 2 a.m.?
Yes. So that would be that second conditional use, the nightclub type conditional use. There were two conditional uses requested.
So if we concurred with the Planning Commission and denied the DJ nightclub till 2 a.m., they still can operate their establishment till 2 a.m.?
Correct.
Serving liquor?
Correct.
And
Assuming they get the liquor license, yes.
Mayor.
Councilmember Jaworski, then.
So usually, Trevor, when we've seen these kind of situations where, a bar can't even operate past midnight, it's usually because the neighborhood around has come forward to the liquor authority saying, listen, this bar's too loud. After midnight, we can't sleep. They're causing problems. People are drunk, stumbling in the parking lot. We've seen this 100 times. And that's been approved. But even in this presentation, it said that there's no residential in the area. So who would be affected by this DJ playing until 1:30 in the morning?
Yeah, like I said, the DJ, I didn't reproduce my materials after the Planning Commission hearing.
Yeah.
So the materials were about the bar. And so to your point, I don't have an opinion on the DJ. To me, it is somewhat of a minor issue. I think the confusion was that the Planning Commission, I think, had intended to limit the hours to midnight, but had denied the second use. But I can only speculate.
Does anybody on the Planning Commission serve in the service industry? Does anybody in the Planning Commission, they just arbitrarily made this decision?
I don't I don't know.
Okay, Councilmember Lawson, Councilmember Murillo, did you want to speak on this? Okay, Councilmember Lawson, then Councilmember Murillo.
So Trevor, I mean, I'm finding this a little bit too, it's very interesting. So, for example, there was a club called Proofs on Hamden, 7800 Hamden, that I used to go to. That was near residential, is also in a kind of strip mall area. Now, I know that they had music and stuff going till almost 2, and they sold liquor too. I guess I'm just trying to understand. I just don't understand. And this one is not even around anything. I know you keep explaining that, but this is very confusing of why something would be denied for just having a DJ for an extra hour. That doesn't even make sense to me. And then why would you be kind of okay with that? For the DJ?
For the DJ there?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, kind of the reasons you mentioned, that there's not residential here and there weren't neighborhood comments opposing it. That's why, I think that kind of limits the concerns. This is in an OAMS, which is, I think it's OAMS or OAMS, is that right? Which requires the conditional use approval for bar tavern, also requires conditional use approval for after-hours club or entertainment. So there were two conditional uses. The second one was the one that was denied.
That just doesn't seem like that, what is being stated, it doesn't seem like it's matching with what you're saying. That's why I think everybody is confused about this. We keep bringing up the extra hour of entertainment, which I don't see anything wrong with that, especially this is not around anything. This club that I just mentioned is, and it stays open. So it did stay open. So I guess I'm just very confused about why it would be denied for that. I mean, it's just confusingly. This club that I mentioned is permanently closed, but I'm just saying, it's kind of a similarity, but this was around residential and around shopping area and all of that. And I know that they stayed open with liquor as well.
Okay. Councilmember Moreno.
Thanks, Mayor. I don't want to belabor what I think was a very confusing agenda item. After all of that, I understand that your letter is not even related to the appeal, which is, whatever. I know that's not on you, but we just talk circles on, we're not even talking about the same thing. So with that being said, I'm ready to make up my mind. I hope I won't call for the question, but I hope that we can vote.
Okay. Further discussion? Seeing none, let's see, where are we at here? Public hearing is now closed. Motion is in order.
Mayor.
Mayor Pro Tem.
I move to reverse the Planning and Zoning Commission's denial of the after-hours club or entertainment conditional use.
Second.
Okay, it's moved by Mayor Pro Tem, second by Councilmember Murillo to reverse the Planning Commission decision. Further discussion? Seeing none, call for the question.
Mayor Kaufman?
Mayor votes yes.
The motion passes to reverse the decision from the Planning and Zoning Commission.
Very well. Will the clerk now please read the title number 12C?
Thank you.
Item
Oh, no, 12C has been
12D.
removed, I understand.
Item 12D is public hearing and consideration of ordinance 2023-54, approving the grant of a cable franchise to Comcast Colorado LLC through a cable franchise agreement between Comcast Colorado LLC and City of Aurora.
A brief presentation by staff.
Mayor,
I'm sorry.
did you open the public hearing?
Oh, open hearing. Public hearing. Public hearing is now open. Brief presentation by staff.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. Kim Stewart, Communications and Marketing Director for the city.
Kim Skaggs, Assistant City Attorney.
So we're here tonight to ask Council to consider approving an ordinance to grant a cable franchise between Comcast Cable of Colorado and the City of Aurora. The franchise agreement is attached as well. The franchise, it would be a 10-year franchise. It would allow Aurora to provide access to our right-of-way to Comcast, and Comcast would then continue to provide cable service to Aurora residents and also allow for revenue to provide for continued operation of Aurora TV, which, as you know, covers a lot of all council meetings, a lot of important city business and community news for residents. And we bring in about $3.3 million of revenue through the franchise agreement and $300,000 in PEG fees, public education and government fees, paid by subscribers. So happy to answer any other questions that council might have.
Does there anybody who wishes to speak on this item?
No.
Questions of staff? Seeing no questions of staff, a motion is in order.
Mayor, motion to approve 12D.
Mayor, you'll have
moved
to
by
close. Mayor, you have to close the public hearing.
Oh, I'm sorry. A public hearing out.
Motion to approve 12D.
It's moved by Mayor Pro Tem, seconded by?
Mayor, second.
Seconded by Councilmember Lawson to approve item number 12D. Discussion? Seeing no discussion, call for the question on the adoption of item number 12D.
The motion passes to adopt ordinance 2023-54.
Will the clerk now please read the title of item number 13A?
Item 13A is ordinance 2023-55, amending certain sections of Chapter 138 of the City Code of the City of Aurora, Colorado, relating to services for the provision of water.
A brief presentation by staff.
Good evening. My name is Kat Olukutun. I'm the Deputy Director of Financial Administration for Aurora Water. And we are asking you to approve the 2024 ordinance for water rates and fees. I'm going to go an overview of how the utility operates, and Aurora Water structure is established on a cost of service basis. Our rates and fees are analyzed annually to make sure that there isn't a rate shock, and so that occurs when rates and fees are not analyzed on an ongoing basis. Overall, the rates for the utility have increased 10%. The driving costs are increases related to PFAS, utility cost increases, federal regulatory changes, as well as labor and construction costs. What Aurora Water is proposing for 2024 is a 5% overall increase on water, a 7% increase on sewer rates, and no increase on stormwater. Per the changes that we made a couple years ago regarding tiers, there will be no rate increase for the first 5,000 gallons. Aurora's water rate is comparable to other utilities. Denver Water just approved an increase of 4.5% on water. Longmont is 5%, Greeley 4%, so we're still very competitive in terms of our water rates. And we are still in the lower third compared to peer utilities. And fees, overall fees are paid as a one-time fee as a condition to connect into the water system. The fees provide our ratepayers with reimbursement for connecting to the system, and is a mechanism by which growth can pay its own way. For water, the fees are the cost of acquiring, developing a source supplying water system and acquiring new water sources. And about 80% of the cost of the water fee is related to water acquisition costs. For 2024, we are proposing to have a phased increase with a 20% increase on water fees in 2024, with the next 7% in 2025. We had originally proposed an increase of 27%. but we, with the water policy committee's support, we reduced that to 20% in 2024, and then the remaining 7 in 2025. For sewer, we are proposing a phased approach as well, with 20% fee increases in 2024, 2025, and 2026. The increase for sewer on a single-family residential and multifamily, even with a 20% increase, is less than $1,000. In conclusion, we would like to request your approval of the ordinance that allows the rate increases that will continue to support the utility and make sure that we continue providing our customers with a high level of service, as well as keeping our rates as low as practically possible. As well as approving fees, we'll make sure that our service model prioritizes essential indoor uses, while at the same time not burdening ratepayers with the costs related to growth. So with that, welcome any questions. Thank you.
Questions to staff? Seeing none, motion is in order.
Motion to approve 13A.
Moved by Councilmember Bergen, seconded by
Coombs.
Councilmember Coombs, to approve item number 13A. Call for the question.
The motion passes to adopt ordinance 2023-55.
Thank you. Will clerk now please read the title of item number 13B?
Item 13B is ordinance 2023-56, an ordinance of the Aurora Conference Center General Improvement District number 2-2011, adopting an operating budget, establishing the tax levy, and appropriating sums of money to defray expenses and liabilities for the fiscal year beginning January 1st, 2024, and ending December 31st, 2024.
Mayor.
Mayor Pro Tem.
Thank you. Can I request that we receive 13B through 13G in one presentation? My understanding is we have to vote separately, but can they be done as one presentation?
Very well. 13B through
13G.
13G. Brief presentation by staff on items number 13B through 13G.
Thank you very much. Andrew Jameson, Treasury Supervisor in the Finance Department. Yes, 13B through 13G are the budget ordinances for the general improvement districts. Basically, it's a ordinance to approve the budget that allows us to collect a property tax levy to pay for the debt issuances for these various general improvement districts. They fund masonry, fences, sewer things, and streets and things like that.
Very well. Questions of staff? Seeing none, would the clerk please read it?
We need a motion.
The title to 13B?
A motion for 13B.
Okay, we already read the title, sorry.
Mayor.
Okay, motion is in order.
Motion to approve 13B.
Moved by Councilmember Bergen, seconded by
Gardner.
Mayor Pro Tem Gardner to approve item number 13B. Discussion? Seeing no discussion, call for the question on item number 13B.
The motion passes to adopt ordinance 2023-56.
Clerk, now please read the title to item number 13C.
Item 13C is ordinance 2023-57 of the General Improvement District 1, 2007 Cherry Creek Racquet Club adopting an operating budget, establishing the tax levy, and appropriating sums of money to defray expenses and liabilities for the fiscal year beginning January 1st, 2024, and ending December 31st, 2024.
Motion is in order.
Mayor.
Councilmember Zvonek.
Motion to approve item 13C.
Moved by Councilmember Zvonek, seconded by
Dina.
Councilmember Medina to approve item number 13C. Discussion? Seeing no discussion, call for the question on the adoption of item number 13C.
Councilmember Jurenski? Oh, thank you, sorry. I think my computer's going slow, so it's taking a while to catch up. The motion passes for ordinance 2023-57.
Clerk, now please read the title to item number 13D.
Item 13D is ordinance 2023-58, an ordinance of Cobblewood General Improvement District 1-2016, Cobblewood General Improvement District adopting an operating budget, establishing the tax levy, and appropriating sums of money to defray expenses and liabilities for the fiscal year beginning January 1st, 2024, and ending December 31st, 2024.
Motion is in order.
Mayor, motion to approve 13D.
Moved by Mayor Pro Tem Gardner, seconded by
Mayor, second.
Councilmember Lawson to approve item number 13D. Discussion? I see no discussion. Call for the question on item number 13D.
The motion passes to adopt ordinance 2023-58.
Clerk, now please read the title to item number 13E.
Item 13E is ordinance 2023-59 of General Improvement District 3-2008 Meadow Hills Country Club, adopting an operating budget, establishing the tax levy, and appropriating sums of money to defray expenses and liabilities for the fiscal year beginning January 1st, 2024, and ending December 31st, 2024.
Motion is in order.
Mayor,
Councilmember Coombs.
move to approve 13E.
Moved by Councilmember Coombs, seconded by Mayor Pro Tem Gardner to approve item number 13E. Discussion? Seeing no discussion, call for the question on the adoption of item number 13E.
The motion passes to adopt ordinance 2023-59.
Would the clerk now please read the title of item number 13F?
Item 13F is ordinance 2023-60 of General Improvement District 1-2008 Peoria Park, adopting an operating budget, establishing the tax levy, and appropriating sums of money to defray expenses and liabilities for the fiscal year beginning January 1st, 2024, and ending December 31st, 2024.
Motion is in order.
Mayor, motion to approve 13F.
Moved by Mayor Pro Tem Gardner, seconded by
Bergen.
Seconded by Councilmember Bergen to approve item number 13F. Discussion? Seeing no discussion, call for the question on the adoption of item number 13F.
The motion passes to adopt ordinance 2023-60.
Clerk, now please read the title to item number 13G.
Item 13G is ordinance 2023-61, an ordinance of Pier Point 7 General Improvement District 2-2009, adopting an operating budget, establishing the tax levy, and appropriating sums of money to defray expenses and liabilities for the fiscal year beginning January 1st, 2024, and ending December 31st, 2024.
Motion is in order.
Mayor,
By Councilmember Coombs.
move to approve item 13G.
Moved by Councilmember Coombs, seconded by
Second.
Seconded by Councilmember Lawson to approve item number 13G. Call for the questions. I'm sorry, is there a discussion? Seeing none, call for the question on the adoption of item number 13G.
The motion passes to adopt ordinance 2023-61.
Clerk, now please read the title to item number 13H.
Item 13H is ordinance 2023-62, appropriating sums of money in addition to those appropriated in ordinance numbers 2022-59 and 2023-12 for the 2023 fiscal year.
Brief presentation by staff.
Good evening. I'm Kirsten Claspel, Budget Program Manager in the Finance Department. Twice a year, departments have the opportunity to bring forward supplemental budget requests, once in the spring and once in the fall. This fall supplemental includes a relatively small number of requests, which are mostly in the Capital Projects Fund. All items with an impact to fund balance were projected in 2023 as part of the 2024 budget. This means that they are already included in our financial plan. There are a few items that were not projected. They are technical to appropriate new grant awards or designate revenue with no impact to any fund balance.
Questions of staff? Seeing none, motion is in order.
Mayor, motion to approve 13H.
Moved by Mayor Pro Tem Gardner, seconded by
Medina.
Councilmember Medina to approve item number 13H. Discussion? Seeing no discussion, call for the question on the adoption of item number 13H.
The motion passes to adopt ordinance 2023-62.
Clerk, now please read the title to item number 13I.
Item 13I is ordinance 2023-63, adopting Section 5043 of the City Code pertaining to protections and rights for the victims of domestic violence.
Questions of Chief Judge Sean Day. Any questions? Oh, I'm sorry, brief presentation.
Thank you, Mayor Pro Tem, members of council, Sean Day, presiding judge. In brevity, I'll offer it up that this is an ordinance to bring us into compliance with House Bill 1222. Happy to answer any questions.
Questions to staff? Seeing none, a motion is in order.
Mayor, motion to approve 13I.
Moved by Mayor Pro Tem Gardner, seconded by
Coombs?
Second by Councilmember Coombs to approve item number 13I. Discussion? Seeing no discussion, call for the question on item number 13I.
The motion passes to adopt ordinance 2023-63.
Clerk, now please read the title to item number 13J.
Item 13J is ordinance 2023-64, Article 6 of Chapter 2 of the City Code pertaining to contracts and purchasing and other related matters. And Mayor, I believe Brent Villager is on WebEx.
Brief presentation by staff.
Yes, this is Bryn Fillinger. I'm manager of purchasing services here at the city. And this ordinance will update city code to allow our processes to be more efficient and more timely. Updates include raising the formal competitive process threshold from $25,000 to $50,000. $25,000 has been in place since 2001, and in today's dollars, that's $44,000. So the proposal is to increase the threshold for formal competitive process to $50,000. This will also streamline the reporting process to allow all awards to go on the weekly report rather than through a formal council process. So overall, it's just to make our processes more efficient and timely.
Questions of staff? Seeing none, a motion is in order.
Mayor, motion to approve 13J.
Been moved by Mayor Pro Tem Gardner, seconded by
Zvonik.
Second by Councilmember Zvonik to approve item number 13J. Discussion? Seeing none, question before us is the adoption of item number 13J. Call for the question.
The motion passes to adopt ordinance 2023-64.
Reports, Mayor's
Mayor,
report.
I have an item for number 16, reconsiderations and call-ups.
Oh, very well.
I believe that in our earlier vote, we were in violation of Section 3-2 of the Charter, which states that the mayor shall not be entitled to cast a vote upon any resolution or ordinance unless it is to create or break a tie vote. And there was not a tie vote. And then if you go to our council rules, it specifically states that if we have a sixth vote, if an item dies for lack of a sixth vote, then it must be scheduled for the next regular meeting. It does not say that the mayor may then vote to create that sixth vote.
So this matter will, the second reading on budget will come back at our next meeting.
This was the second reading.
It will come back for
Okay.
for
For the
another
sixth
reading,
vote.
for that vote.
Okay, thank you.
But then I should not have voted, correct?
Correct.
Okay, well, correct. That was the advice
Can-
I was given.
Yes.
Okay.
Can we get the right information then on,
When we're voting?
Okay. Okay. Let the record reflect that change. Okay, reports. Congratulations to Allison Coombs and Curtis Gardner for winning at-large seats. Congratulations as well to Stephanie Hancock winning Ward 4, and Angela Lawson for winning Ward 5, and Francois Bergen for winning Ward 6. And want to say Councilmember Marcano did an extraordinary job in his 4 years of service to our city, and I'm sure that he will find other ways in which to be involved. Let's see, Councilmember Lawson. Well, yeah, we're still under the old system. Councilmember Lawson.
Okay. Mayor, I just want to thank the voters of Ward 5 for your votes. I'm appreciative. I look forward to working and representing Ward 5, and I'm very, truly, truly grateful. So thank you.
Mayor Pro Tem Gardner.
No report.
Let's see, Mayor, Councilmember Medina.
No report.
What's that? Oh, now I'm really in trouble. We're all screwed up today. Okay, here we are. Councilmember Durinsky.
I would just like to.
She's so quiet. I mean, I just kind of passed her
How do you
by
forget me, Mayor? It's like I need to get
How
louder.
could anybody forget you?
I have no problem getting louder, by the way.
I know.
I would just like to reiterate a happy Veterans Day weekend to all of our veterans out there. We have a military installation in Aurora, and it is so important that we remember that we are a military town. I had the honor of going back to my alma mater on Friday, Overland High School, as the keynote speaker for their Veterans Day event. And it was incredible to be with these kids. And I got to introduce Councilmember-elect Stephanie Hancock. That is Ward 4. And so just really cool. And I hope that more members of council will attend the event next year.
Councilmember Savanik.
Thanks, Mayor. Again, just to reiterate, congratulations to all my colleagues who are reelected, including you, Mayor, and to our future colleague, Councilmember-elect Hancock. I'm looking forward to serving with you. This past weekend, I was able to join the Eastern Hills Community Church with hundreds of volunteers packing dinners for Thanksgiving. And what I want to say tonight is to say thank you to that program that's known as the For Aurora program, because not only do they do this during Thanksgiving, but they provide services year-round in meeting unmet needs throughout our communities, and I really appreciate the work that they do. I know there's a few of us who are up on this dais who attend Eastern Hills and know the great work they do, but I just wanted to make sure that those of you don't hear what a great program and service that they do provide. That's all.
Okay. Councilmember. Okay. Listen, I tell you scramble a little bit, and it scrambles the whole thing. Councilmember Murillo.
Thank you, everyone. And yes, congratulations to our newly elected council members. I look forward to working with you all. Just a note, my town hall falls on Thanksgiving, so we're pushing that back to the 30th and won't be having a meeting in December. So I hope you'll enjoy your holiday break for folks who have that. And we'll be at the MLK Library. We have a representative from the Aurora Public Schools District that are going to come speak at our town hall. Thank you.
Yeah, for some reason not here. Councilmember Medina.
No report.
Okay, let's see. Councilmember Coombs.
Thank you. So just briefly, thank you so much to the voters for your confidence in me and electing me to serve as an at-large city council member. And congratulations to everyone who was also elected. I do hope that I'll have the opportunity to collaborate with each of our council members in the wards, attending and supporting your meetings, as well as working on supporting the issues that are relevant to your particular wards. And I look forward to the next few years with all of you. I hope everyone has a wonderful evening.
Councilmember Bergen. Councilmember Bergen.
Okay, thank you.
We're scrambled today.
We are very scrambled.
Not just me.
I just want to say thank you to the voters that voted to reelect me. I'm honored to be able to represent Ward 6 again for another 4 years. And just also a huge thank you to the volunteers and the donors that supported me as well. I have a town hall this Wednesday, 6 to 8. At the Talons Reach Library, and we'll have a presentation on youth violence, and then also Public Works will be giving an update on some roads that my constituents are always asking about: Gun Club Road, Aurora Parkway, and the Guard Trail Bridge. So be there. Thank you. Good night.
And last Friday was the birthday for the United States Marine Corps, my alma mater. So with that, seeing no further business before the Aurora City Council, meeting is adjourned.